Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phoenix Club.
Yay.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Phoenix Pod.
Hey!
It's the Phoenix Pod. Turn right into paradise.
Oh, God.
Oh dear, it's already started.
It has already
Start as you mean to
started.
go on, fellas. Start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely. That's going to be probably about 7 episodes, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Even if it takes 3 hours, we'll get there. So, yes, I'm of course your host AXC, joined once again by a man who is stupid, possibly sexy, allegedly, and he's a Flinders.
It is.
It's
I
stupid
was
sexy.
wondering where you're going with that.
Yep.
I was-
it's not me.
I was like, stupid, sexy, maybe. And then Flinders, it's like, oh, right, okay, big giveaway.
I keep meaning to try and do it in like the style of Curry Man, where it's like, he's hot, he's spicy, he tastes great. I'm like, never seems to work though.
It's worth a try. But yes, it's me. It's stupid, sexy Flinders. And it feels like I'm wearing nothing at all because I'm back in the shed again. And it's cold. But I remembered my hoodie this time, so it's not, maybe not. Maybe I'm not wearing nothing at all. It feels like it. Skin tight, baby.
And the other voice you can hear all the way from the Jockey Wilson suite. From the R.A.D. podcast, it's special guest Lewis Ogden.
How's Al doing?
We're doing fine.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for having me on, fellas, because I was a very big fan of the first episode, and I was just a case of, I've got to get on.
Well, you're more than welcome, fella.
Aye.
More than welcome. More
Yeah.
merrier.
So we're going to jump straight back to the club, where this time they decided for a Wild West night. A free trial of a booking bronco leads to the Phoenix Club having a Wild West night. The night goes from bad to worse as the staff is faced with a broken homemade bingo machine, an out-of-control shoot-off, and a drunken horse.
Hey, yes.
Now, before we get into the episode, fellas, I have to apologise because after listening to the first episode and obviously like asking if I was okay to come on, I was like, it's a good one this episode. 2 significant characters are in it. I'm just sort of like, well, looking forward to this. And then I turned it on and I was like, this isn't the episode. I've gone one too early.
He's blown his load early.
I got too excited. It does happen on occasion, but I try to keep a lid on it, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, but never mind. But yeah, we still had a cracking episode.
Yeah.
I don't think there's such thing as really as a shit episode of Phoenix Nights, if I'm brutally honest. There's always something there.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've gone back and watched them, but the 2 episodes that we've seen so far have been very, very good.
Yep. I mean, it's probably one of the least memorable ones, but if you think Phoenix Nights, you think, what happened in it? I don't tend to often think of Wild West Night.
No.
I think this is another one of my favourites because I have an episode I do sort of dislike, but this is probably one of my favourites because again we had the captain and there's things that happen in the episode that just make me absolutely wet myself laughing.
Oh yes, yes.
So-
There is the captain, of course, and the wake,
And the what?
and the wake.
Oh God, yes, the wake. So yes, we start with Jerry and Les Alanos performing a very strange version of Beautiful South, Perfect 10.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of the song for some reason. I knew it was Beautiful South. But at the end of the song, he sort of like he announces that they've got an open the box competition where there's a massive total of £33 up for grabs.
Well, not only that,
I made a note of the jackpot for open the box and the bingo later on. So I'm glad I wasn't the only one paying attention to it.
You got the captain puffing away on the fag. You've got Brian with his vase, but then everyone looks bored. As I noticed, there's about 10 people in there, and the majority of them are staff.
Yeah.
Senior and that just sat there watching, looking bored.
Yep.
And then, of course, we hand it over to resident DJ Ray Von, complete with road traffic lights. Where he got them from was questionable. So as he blasts up on it, Watson, this pensioners looking on amused as Ray makes little boxes and shit.
I had in my note, Rave on literally raves on.
He goes, rave on!
It's the fist bump that gets me, where he's like, come on. So pensioners start leaving as Potter wheels over. Could you lower it, son? Banging. Cheers.
Oh, thanks.
Which leads into, you not got a nice foxtrot or Kenny G? Which then starts a smoke machine and going, oh, what's this? Smoke machine, it's jammed.
Can't turn it off.
Punters are starting to punters are leaving like the fucking place is on fire.
But it's at this point when the camera pans to Brian. He's going, "Oh, Jerry, where are you?" He's going, "Brian, where are you?" Just crouching around the head, but you hear like the full-on whack. It's like a full-on. All right, Jesus Christ!
But Ravon starts attacking his own equipment with a fucking hammer. Right in front of Potter.
It reminded me of Psycho, the way he just appears behind him with the hammer and he's bashing his bloody machine. He's like, fixed it.
Yep. But what you got to remember, this is like a callback to the first episode where Los Alamos was taking the piss out of Potter and saying that Ravon was a murderer and killed someone called Tracy Burns.
This is true, yes.
So he then appears behind him with a fucking hammer, smashing down behind him.
Well, this is all before the opening credits.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the opening credits. We see Paddy clearing up, and the captain hasn't moved, which leads to, "Come on, captain, home time." Well, he said, "Come on, captain, home time. I want to lock up." Captain, time's down, cut. Ship away. Shakes the captain, and his fag falls in mouth. He just say, "Shit."
Yes.
Which then leads into, "He's dead, Brian. He can't be dead. Who's near the bloody door now?" I wake up. Sure, she can't hear you. All the conditions have been dead. But then Kenny Senior, the known bullshitter, chimes in with, "Ashing hundreds. She used to bag him up in Nam."
He used to bag up in Nam, yeah.
There was that. There's another bullshit story that Kenny tells later that had me in stitches.
But then you've got the iconic line that Coxy likes to say a lot. Is like, when they talk about him, it's like where he's situated. It's like talking about how he died.
Before that, we've got the old panic and agreed they didn't kill him. Then Potter chimes in, "If we didn't kill him, Smokey friggin' Robinson over there did though." How many more are going to knock up? And then Jerry's like, I think he's had an asthma attack. He had by angina and all. He was an asthmatic. Put him in the benign suite. Why? Because here's murder. Next door's natural causes. Go on, stick him in there.
The big group of them try.
They go to move him. And out comes his false teeth.
And everyone just goes back, goes, whoa.
So then we cut to the spread at the wake, complete with the captain's dog eat with its own plate on the floor. Numerous people sit round tables and that, like you do in a bloody working men's club.
I remember someone shouting over about that dog. I think it was a group of old women that said some fucking amazing stuff. One of them goes, "Who's that dog?" He's like, "Oh, get it put down.
Get it put down.
Yeah.
Get it put down."
They're talking about what they want now. He's dead, and one of them goes, "I'm having his fridge freezer, less than 12 months old, that." And then someone goes, "What about his dog?" "Well, I don't want his dog. Get it put down."
And they talk about burning his ashes as well, because if we scatter the ashes, do we get money back on urn?
There's Brian and Jerry as well, where they're going, oh, such and such, she's dead. Oh, what happened to husband? Oh, he's dead as well. And then, so Les and Alanos are approaching Brian, and they point out Ray didn't turn up to the wake and that he's comfortable around death.
Yeah, because Rayvon isn't there.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to get rid of him.
There's a bit before, when Brian and Jerry are talking. I think you were trying to mention it, Coxy. It was, I can't remember his bloody name. It's like, he's dead at 56. It's like, that's no ways to go. It's like, yeah, run over by a rubbish truck, back right over him. How's his wife? Oh, she's not that. She's devastated. She's dead miffed as well. They didn't even take her bins.
That was the one, yeah. And then what is it?
Remember where you are.
Yeah, remember where you are,
Jerry.
Yeah, jumping back to it, he said Brian's like, oh, I thought I could get rid of him. And then, oh, it's not that simple. His previous victim made the same mistake and ended up dismembered. They found
that's what Tracy did. They found her in a wheelie pin, or Ed at least.
Yeah.
And then, so we jump to a man who clinks a glass. And he says, can I have a bit of respect for the captain, please? And places his pint on top of the coffee.
Don't even use a coaster. What were you dragged up? Get a coaster.
And he gave the speech about how he first met the captain on D-Day. And he's like, oh, they tried stopping him, not the captain, though. He ran. And he got shot right in.
Bastard's got him, though. Shot him right in the eye. And Brian at that moment he's eating a Scotch egg. It's just sort of like...
And what is it? Oh, I caught it. And the captain turned around to me. And he said, what's it? I didn't write it down.
It was like, you were supposed to keep your eye out for me.
Yes. Then suddenly after the speech, the Das Boot fruit machine plays out, saying, "Das Jackpot, Achtung!"
Schnell, dive.
Turn it off now. The guy's there just fucking collecting his jackpot.
Well, there's an interesting tidbit about this machine Brian mentions later on, which we'll come to.
Yeah.
And then so we cut to a few guys in one of the other rooms watching a documentary on TV about an amoeba for some reason. There's a couple of guys trying to play pool on a wonky pool table. And a couple of guys randomly wandering in boiler suits and take down the TV.
Take the TV, take it to the car, and then you got Kenny Senior that comes running out. He's like, knocks on the window and he's like, "You're not so clever, are you, fellas?" He's like, "What?" Says, gives him the fucking remote. Says, "You won't get far with that, will you?" You
got to jump back a bit here because this is a bit. I think Lewis was referring to before.
Yeah.
About,
he's talking to a bloke about being on like a tenting holiday. He's like, "I stick my head out the tent. And he was in the tent next door. Robert De Niro. It was down making Deer Hunter 2 in real. It's like it's like I am a bit swing ball.
Oh God, I remember that now. And I don't know why that went over my head.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The thing is, Kenny Senior has that many bullshit stories. It's understandable how the odd one slips by the wayside.
But some of the best bits though, like the bloody what was it? Sondersom used to back him up in Nam.
Yeah.
So he notices the men taking the TV, runs after him, knocks on the window, and both the guys look at each other like shit. We've been rumbled. What you can get away with? Can't you get past these? Couldn't you? And gives them the like massive fucking square remote. Oh dear.
Like a fucking real early 90s Citroen. It's all banged up.
Yeah.
And they come the other way as Brian in his dead posh 1980s Cadillac.
Yeah.
And they cut to a shot of just sort of like where the TV used to be. Just sort of like, let me get this straight. 2 men in boiler suits came in, took the TV, and you did nothing. It's like, we thought you'd arranged it. Arranged it for what?
Well, as I noted, Kenny's excuse is that they were wearing overalls, and he draws attention to the fact Potter's got a new Cadillac. Brian states, "Oh, I should have worn overalls and driven out with them, shouldn't I?" Then they discuss the wonky pool table, and Potter says they should have got him to take that thing, and Kenny Senior said he only had a Citroen.
There's a little bit of I love as well. There's a lovely little bit that they do when Brian is, oh yeah, they were wearing overalls. Oh, they were wearing overalls, will they? Oh, Jesus H. And right when he says Jesus H, Mary in the background does sort of like the cross symbols, just sort of like in Oh, I love that little bit.
And, so we cut to Potter in his office dunking a biscuit while he's on the phone to Dodge Eric, who answers in French with, Eric, Brian. Oh, Brian, what's up? What's up? I've got a deformed snooker table, a Nazi bandit that pays out in Deutschmarks, and a flavoured condom machine that's 10 years out of date.
So, would you suck a 10-year-old banana?
No.
Neither way.
I'll actually put papers together. You'll get nothing except your ass down there today for this snooker table before I nail you to it.
She said.
She said. Cuts to Eric for clinging onto a bucking bronco, asking for his opinion, which is, well, what do you think? It's hard to find the words to describe it, Eric, really.
It's the future.
Oh, I found some.
Yeah.
What the frig is it?
What the hell is it?
Yeah.
This is what the punters want, Brian. A mechanical bull. A bucking bronco. Get rid of it now. I can't, the van's gone.
But then he offers him to try and convince Spot Potter to have it. Says, go on, have a ride, see. You'll see what you think. And then he remembers he's in a fucking wheelchair and quickly moves on.
This is the future, Brian. Snooker's dead and buried. I'm not convinced. Get rid of it. Trust me, Brian. I won't win the seniors. Oh, I've heard that before. Indoor golf, foxy boxing. I've just got rid of your 6-foot kaplonk. I did a free trial and an airplane with one previous owner. Who were it? John Denver.
Oh, God. But yeah, I think he ends up taking it, doesn't he? Obviously, so.
He takes it because he throws in the bloody plane and he's like, oh, a week's free trial, that'll do, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then staff and punters aren't having it, but he manages to persuade him. And then we cut to Jerry, who's hosting the afternoon bingo.
Oh, God.
Which brings on...
line, £7 jackpot.
which brings on Ray and his bingo machine. Oh, what's this? Bingo machine, I made it. Which is like a Frankenstein bloody Henry Hoover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mutilated fucking Henry Hoover.
But in the next room, we've got the punters trying the bucking bronco, just right, proper slow, just rocking back and forth.
At the lowest speed possible.
But the best part is when it cuts to a woman who's sat with a glass of wine in the bloody aeroplane.
Oh, I forgot about that till just now.
Yeah, she just sat there rocking back and
just sort of like, right, okay.
You see Ray walk in and she's sat there just rocking back and forth with a glass of wine like her husband just stood next to her a pint. Then Ray walks in, he's like, oh, I've got an idea. So then we're back in the bingo hall. The balls are going everywhere. The machine's malfunctioning. Oh, 3 and 9.
We've had that. It's not. I've just picked it up off the floor.
Which then we jump back to Ray in the Pennine Suite commentating on the booking Bronco.
Yeah. And which leads to Jerry saying to suggest that they're going to have a Western night because it was going down quite well.
Oh no, you're forgetting one of the best lines that actually absolutely wetting myself.
Oh, I remember this.
Brian's looking pleased. He goes, look at Jerry. He goes, look at this. I've not seen him all this excited since he printed that paedophile address in paper.
Oh yeah. I forgot about. Oh fuck! I forgot about that.
Yeah, the man on the Bronco falls off and Potter's shitting it, thinking we'll have a lawsuit on me hand. And the guy that gets up, he's like, "Way!" Which, of course, then Jerry's like, "Oh, we should have a Wild West night," which Brian denies until he's like, "Oh, Den Perry had one, made a fortune." He's like, "He what?"
So he's all over it then.
Oh.
And then you cut. That's the end of the first part.
That's end of part one.
Yeah.
Part one.
Hi, I'm Mike from the Genuine Chit Chat podcast, where we have honest conversations with interesting people. I speak to a wide variety of guests, from travellers to musicians to those afflicted with mental or physical illnesses. There's really no subject that's off limits, from movies to politics and even controversial topics ranging from sex to drug reform and political correctness. So if you still believe in the art of conversation, are intrigued by healthy debates with different ideas and perspectives you may not have thought of, and want a podcast where every episode is about something different with a variety of guests, then this may be the podcast for you. You can hear us on YouTube and all your favourite podcast apps, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to hang out and listen to honest conversations with interesting people, then come to Genuine Chit Chat, where I'm your host, Mike Burton.
Oh dear, I need to catch my breath.
This is the thing about Phoenix Nights. You get a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, there's all sorts going on. I mean, like three different things happening, like a 25-minute episode. And I know I'm missing quite a bit, but because of that, it's hard to catch everything.
I try and be meticulous with my notes.
Yeah. And when you're trying to write down shit, and you're like, oh shit, by the time you've written something down, you could have missed 2 or 3 jokes that you would have caught if you weren't watching it. So it's that much packed in, which is fucking brilliant. If you just sat there on your couch, just watching it, it's you don't stop laughing.
Yeah,
I think it calls for repeat views as well. To be fair.
Yeah, because you miss details.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. But one person, the 2 characters you don't see a lot in the first half is Paddy and Max, which we start on the second part with Paddy and Max.
So we open with Johnny Cash Ring of Fire, and there's 2 women approaching the club, and Max and Paddy are there with Stetsons on.
Yeah.
Cut into rave.
Evening, ladies.
Like I wouldn't mind riding that.
Paddy there going, one man riding that.
Cut to rave on with the Bronco as another man falls off. Then we go on to Jerry, who introduces Wild Bill and Trigger, a cowboy and horse act.
Oh, I forgot as well. When at the end of the first half, when the bloke falls off and Brian's like, oh shit, we're gonna have a lawsuit on our hands, and he gets up, and Ravon's there just sort of like going, let's get another contestant up on the ride. Shabba.
Is it not later on when he throws Shabba in?
Yeah, I think it's probably later
2.
on, but
I think Shabba's season 2.
No, it's in season 1. It's in this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
So, jumping back, we've got Brian looking on displeased at the horse with...
There is a horse in my cabaret suite.
So then on the doors, we jump back to Max and Paddy with, wearing a hat's the worst thing you can do if you're going bald. I'm not going bald, all right. You are, though.
You're covering up. It's not me going. It's more like you going bald than me. And Max turns around and he goes, I've lost most of my hair worrying about yours.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah,
go on.
I'm going to say we're back in the cabaret suite with the fucking cowboy and horse act continuing.
Yep.
With Wild Bill, oh, what's that he's doing? Oh, he's digging for gold. It's like, oh, for the love of God.
What did someone say to him? Oh, is this real? Is this happening? And then the horse promptly shits on the floor, and Potter goes, "Oh, it's real. It's real, all right."
You've got
30 grand that cork floor. 30 grand that cork floor. Cork tile floor.
Well, Jerry first of all says to him, he's like, well, I think, and he just repeats the line of,
There is a horse in my cabaret suite.
and then that's when he shits on the floor, and Jerry's like, I'll clean it up.
30 grand that cork tile floor.
Back with Max and Paddy, as Max is listing baldy celebrities and how women love them. It's like Bruce Willis,
Val Kilmer, Sean Connery.
But then Paddy sort of like disputes Sean Connery.
I think Sean Connery is later on. Because there's a bit where like, he spends ages sort of, he meant Rock. Wig.
He's wigging the Rock. Bloody massive. Never say never again. Another wig.
Sean loved him.
So when Wild Bill and Trigger finish, Jerry hands over to Ravon. But before he utters the line, just let me clean that shit up. It's Mr. Ravon. Just let me clean that shit up. he starts playing bloody, what is it?
Is it Cotton Eye Joe?
No, it's steps 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh yeah, and he starts fucking scratching
it. He goes, he says, rave on y'all, and that's the way he throws in the first shabba.
Ah, yes. But then it's not line dancing, don't they?
Well, yeah, it jumps Max and Paddy are on about wigs again and that, and then it jumps back to
Sean Connery with his wigs. So
yeah.
Max is going, Highlander, wig. Highlander 2, quickening, wig. What's that mad one where he gets his cock out? Zardos, wig.
Yes, he did say
that. Yeah, the pensioners are lined up doing the line dancing, but then Ray starts like scratching the records and that. And that's where he chimes in with, doesn't matter what it is, garage house, it's all okay with DJ Ray.
Brian, if it calls for Brian, he's literally face farming.
And there's Holy Mary in the kitchen taking an order of chips and black-eyed peas, and the guy utters, what's your snake pie, love?
Chicken mushroom.
Tell you what, I'll have 2.
Mushroom. 2 snakes, Marion.
And then, so Brian asks Jerry when the gunfight is, which leads to, after supper, I've got the Keighley Confederates against the Preston Posse. And so, oh, no.
Lancashire versus Yorkshire. It won't, it'll be fine.
Who's the judge? Ray. Which then,
Brian... Don't give him a couple of ups on knees and bodies.
Yeah.
And the wig conversation continues outside.
Hunt for Red October, wig. Avengers. No, he were bald in the Avengers. Yeah. No, he was, wasn't he? He was. And it were a flop, weren't it? No wig, no hitch. Shit.
So Wild Bill wanders over, speaks to Brian. Was it Colin Bibby? I think he's called, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
And he's leads Potter to utter the line, she's a beauty, isn't she? Sorry, he nearly had my eye out. And then he's like, oh, could I put Trigger in an empty Jockey Wilson Street? It's pissing down outside. It's pissing down here and shitting.
There's a bit as well. Brian's going on to Wild Bill's just sort of like, God, I haven't seen you since you were in that double act with what's her name? Minnie Ha. Minnie Ha, that's it. She ain't laughing now, is she? Lost a leg to diabetes, poor cow.
Oh, I've got trigger now. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm just remembering what happens later with the horse.
Oh, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if I remember rightly, Potter wheels off, and then Jerry's like, just stick him in Jockey Wilson. No one, Potter won't know. He won't find out.
You'll never know.
So then we move on to the gunfights. And they shoot. I believe Yorkshire wins this one, the first one.
Yes, they do. Yeah, it was
Yes,
blatantly obvious.
Frightens the shit out of Max and Paddy, though, which cuts to the horse getting loose in the next room.
Yep.
Yeah, I had this as just sort of like Trigger doing his best impression of Barney from The Simpsons if we were left in charge of Moe's. Like, literally.
Is it that
Might as
one
well be sucking the pipes dry.
Oh, there's that one where he's like leaning on the bar and he's like, oh, my heart just stops. And he goes like, oh, no, there it goes. He just carries some drinks from the tap.
Yeah. Oh, dear me.
So, yeah, Jerry awards the wrong side, and then we end up with Cisco Sid versus Silverado Presley.
Fucking brilliant.
Well,
I was just thinking as well, just sort of like the Elvis Presley. He's on the wrong team, because like surely if there was anybody impersonating Elvis, you'd surely go with it from sort of like Lancashire side, because you could probably say just sort of, you know, this Elvis Presley impersonator is sort of like on a little detour from like Blackpool. He's not technically part of the Preston posse, but you know, I don't know. Might just be me.
Or call him Elvis Preston if it's going to be the character.
that could have worked.
That could have worked, yeah.
So we jump back to the Pennine Street where the horse has actually started to drink from one of the beer taps. As it becomes obvious, Jerry is giving Lancashire the wins on purpose, whilst Ravon looks on shitting himself.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like Jerry's sort of like been like, oh yeah, Ravon's been made judge, and like every result, well, not every result, it starts off with like Jerry just going, Ray, you won that one. And you literally have Ray in the background just sort of like, you know, giving a nod towards Yorkshire side. And Jerry just goes, Lancashire wins.
And he starts dancing with him going, you only sing when you win it.
When you're winning. Hey, Yorkshire, you're losing.
So,
it all comes to a head later on.
So Jerry calls up George and Jen while Kenny Jr. and Brian watch on. Kenny Sr. pops his head through, saying, there's a horse in Jockey Wilson. Of course, no one believes him. Whilst Jerry taunts Yorkshire and young Kenny wheels Brian through. Which then leads to Brian with the, what's up with it? What's up with it? It's pissed, that's what up with it.
I know a pissed horse when I see one.
Well, get him a kebab.
Quick, get it a kebab. What I love most about that scene is just sort of like, you know, the horse is there just sort of like swaying about, and Kenny Jr. is bringing Brian in, and he's literally like going too fast, and he literally just gets like a sliver away from the horse, and you just see Brian in his chair like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like literally goes as stiff as a fucking board. It was brilliant.
I'd love to say it was wonderful acting, but I genuinely think it was sort of like done by accident. But fuck it, it works. Keep it.
I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised.
So Jerry continues talking to smaller Jed. With, what do you do when you grow up? Taller. Getting support from Lancashire while Yorkshire looks unamused. Then eventually loses his rag and just whacks him right in the stomach.
Which, to be honest, he had it coming.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he deserved it for that, to be fair.
Yeah, it starts a bar fight and it just all goes to fucking town.
You cut back to the Jockey Wilson suite and Trigger's mounted the bull, the mechanical bull.
Yeah, I've literally written in my notes, horse shags a mechanical bull.
Brian's there just going, we've not got a license for this.
I've got the full transcript here with, what's he doing? Kenny, pull it off. You what? I'm not pulling off a horse. I've got a license for this. Kenny, get them up. Then Wild Bill walks in, which you better get in there. Well, a well's breaking loose. With then, who taught him that? But then what I noticed with this is that it jumps to this brawl where people are breaking chairs over each other and that, and Elvis is doing his bloody karate and stuff. It's like you still got Les Alanis playing in the background.
Yeah.
It's happening. Whilst you got Marion and Holy Mary joining in, throwing food and cutlery.
You got Max and Paddy outside talking, and it's like Paddy's sort of like, not Paddy, sorry. Max goes on talking about smashing a chair over somebody's back or chucking it through a window. Next thing you know, a chair comes through the window.
Mm.
And they both go to rush into the club, and Paddy goes through the open door, and Max literally slams himself into the closed one.
I actually had to watch that a bit back because I was looking down, writing something. I looked up and was like, "Why's Max on the? Why's Max on the floor?" I was like, "Write it back." And I just see him run full force in the door.
And literally, Max and Paddy enter, like, see all the chaos, and they, like, Max goes to sort of, like, you know, rush in to try and disperse, and you literally hear him go, "They've got guns!"
And they retreat.
So yeah, then we jump to a police van outside the club, with the police escorting the shooters out the building. Which you see Max there, stood there watching Elvis getting carted out, and he's like, "Elvis has left the building."
Oh dear me! But then you got after that all the gunslingers are getting chucked into the back of the van. You got what's his name? His horse, the guy. I can't remember his name now.
Oh, you got Jerry first of all. He was like, "Oh, you know why Den Perry stopped doing it, didn't he?" He's like, "He's to happen every time this." And
now you tell me.
Now you tell me. Well, Wes has been well for sure. I'll tell you that much.
Why do I listen to you, Brian? Why do I listen to you, Jerry? Or something?
Yeah.
That's when Wild Bill walks up with like, "My horse is drunk or something. He's due at a corporate in Torquay tomorrow."
I suppose you better get back on the wagon. And I think we get roll to credits, don't we?
We've got the police close the van, which leads Brian to shout, "Chuck the key away!"
Oh yeah.
And then comes again to the second audition of the series, which is an escapologist in a sack who's chained shut and he can't get out.
He's looking for a key in his bag, but he's left his fucking key.
This is me. This is me.
Hold on, any minute now.
Any minute now. Any minute now.
See,
whose keys are they? Whose keys are these?
Are these your keys?
What? Next!
Oh, fuck! And then it stops.
Fucking brilliant.
So yeah, that was episode 2.
As you say, it's that was episode 2. I mean, like, looking back over that episode, the amount of sort of like little quotes that I've made down in my notes is it's amazing. I was about to say it's asthmatic, but no, but I remember what you were talking about before you reviewed episode 1. It is one of those sort of like comedy series that you can literally like take a quote out of and you can just associate it with, oh yeah, that is Phoenix Nights, or you know, that is Max and Paddy or whatever.
Yeah,
it is that kind of show.
Absolutely.
And I find it's amazing that there can be that many quotes that we've associated with this one episode.
Well, this is it. Watching this episode back, I've heard Coxy person like going saying he's asthmatic, sort of thing, doing it just off the fucking cuff, and it's like, where's he got that from? I know I like Phoenix Nights, so I wasn't one of these people. I've not watched it for like a decade before we started reviewing them, and it was like, where's he got that from? And then when you watch this, it's like.
I have a tendency to remember like the daftest of quotes at times. Like people always remember Peter Kay for like garlic bread.
Yeah.
Mate,
Yeah.
he was asthmatic. But I mean, Ben. Well, the one about the paedophile's address in paper. So.
Yeah. That was fucking class. Yeah, but it's not, when I think Phoenix Night quotes, I think stuff like fucking "Go and get your black bin bags." You know, that stuff. Even Buckingham Palace eats corned beef. Yeah. Just think shit like that. But yeah, I think I remember the second series more than the first one, if I'm brutally honest. And I can't wait to get to the second one because it's the one I watched first. So I had to go back and watch the first series. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember sort of like in the build up to this, I was trying to think where my sort of like my phase of getting to watch Phoenix Nights was, and I can't remember whether it was either this episode that we've watched or it was episode 3, where I remember. So I think it was like on repeat on like a late Friday or Saturday night on Channel 4. I was just sort of like channel flicking or whatever, and I was just sort of like, oh, that's I can tell that's Peter Kay, and you know, from then it was just sort of like a case of, oh, actually this has actually got quite a good bit of humour to it. And then it was literally just a case of tracking down the DVD to finding it and then watching that entire series. So, as I say, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's the next episode because, as I say, me jumping the gun, sort of like there's probably a reason why I jumped the gun so much because it was probably my first introduction to Phoenix Nights.
I was worried when you first said that. I was expecting you to come on with like the wrong notes, like the notes for episode 3, and be like, "So Clinton Maps Lee's like." No, mate, what are you on about? It's like a Honda where you're on about the captain being dead.
No, I made a point of searching episode 2, so it was just the confusion on my part. That
Oh dear.
As I say, next episode is a corker.
absolutely.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
Because it's probably got two of the best like cameoed characters in the series, I feel.
Easily. I'll go with that. But yeah, it's a fucking corker, and yeah, I can't wait to get watching it and making notes for it.
I can't wait to get all the quotes up sorted for that episode. There's so much.
Yeah, it's such like what he said. It's so quotable. I mean, this one episode itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's one big famous one, which I'm not going to say now. Even Coxy's like,
quite a fair few.
Yeah, there's a fair few right from the outset of the episode. I think, to be fair, there's some proper corkers on that one.
Yeah.
But yes, that was episode 2 of the Phoenix Nights.
Yep.
I think you best begin yourself some plugs, Paul, before we call last orders.
Absolutely, yes. You can find me on like Lost Art of Podcast and Lost Art of Wrestling, and my podcast, I can't even say it this now. The R.A.D. Live podcast. We're on all the good podcast catchers out there, such as iTunes or iMusic, whatever the fuck it's called nowadays, Stitcher, Spreaker, you name it, we're on there. We are on Twitter at UKRAD Podcast. We are on Facebook, which is getting a bit more use than it used to. And yeah, you can also find me as my alter ego Steve on Gunpowder, Treason, No Plots. And on Twitter at SteveAOTGTMP, where I take the piss out of Bunkle's character quite a bit. But I suppose I better plug Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot as well. You can find them on Twitter at Treason No. You can also find them in the same place you can find R.A.D.
Cool. And of course, you can find the Lost Art Podcasting on Facebook. We're on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. We're on Instagram. And of course, we're on the usual places: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, Castbox, Google Play, any good podcast provider. But for the Phoenix Knights pod, or the Phoenix pod even, I've been AXC.
I've been stupid and sexy, and also Flinders.
I've been the Stowaway Lewis Ogden.
Which leads me to say, next!